Hello, and welcome to the Million Dollar Speaker Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about what are the characteristics that million dollar speakers have. Where do you go to reach millions of people? And how do you make millions with your message? Hi, I'm Arvee Robinson. I'm the master speaker trainer, international speaker, and author of Speak Up, Get Clients, and your host for the Million Dollar Speaker Podcast. And today I have a very special training that I want to share with you. And that is 10 tips for effective speaking for business owners. That's right. So if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, consultant, this training is for you. So I'm going to go down a list of 10 attributes, 10 tips, 10 ways, whatever you want to think of them. And I would recommend that you do all 10. So if you really want to be an effective speaker, if you really want to be a million dollar speaker, then I would recommend you do all 10 of these. So get out a pencil and paper and let's get started. Number one, get trained. Get trained. And if you are trained, get trained again, get continuous training. Why? Because public speaking has changed over the years. It is rapidly changing. And of course, we saw a big shift last year when everyone went online and there were no live events. And now, of course, we're seeing the shift slowly go back to live events, but online events are going to be here to stay. So that means that public speaking has changed a great deal. It's harder to connect with oftentimes with an online audience than it is with a live audience. We just don't have the advantage of the physical contact. So there's a lot of changes. So get trained, stay current, and just dedicate yourself to continuous speaking improvement. And get trained by everyone that you can think of in terms of a public speaking coach and or trainer, because they all bring some unique styles and gifts with them. Number two, select your business topic. This is the ultimate business topic that you are knowledgeable about. So you want to select that topic. Now, a lot of people, a lot of business owners, they have multiple topics. And I was just talking to a speaker colleague and friend earlier today, and she has so much that she could talk about and sometimes tries to put it all in one speech. Instead, I recommend that you take that specialty, one or two specialty items that you do, and just focus on that and go deep. Go deeper on your topic than, skip like a rock on water. All right. So go deep. So select that topic that you can go deep on. And of course, I'm talking about a topic that you're passionate about, a topic that you're knowledgeable about, and a topic that you have an audience for, that people want to hear. So when you have those three aligned, you're going to have $1 million topic right there that people are going to want to listen to and want to know more about. And of course, they're going to come to hear you speak. So always pick that ultimate business topic. Number three, outline your speech. Outline your speech. Again, if you want to be an effective speaker and $1 million speaker, they don't write out their speech. If you write out your speech word for word or type it out, whatever the case may be, you will be a prisoner of your own words. That's right. You will be a prisoner of your own words because you're going to want to say your speech exactly like you wrote it. Now, this is a speech. We speak speeches. We write books. So do not write out your speech. Only outline it. You know your topic. You know your business topic. You know your subject. You're passionate about it. We don't need, to write down every single word. That's when you get deer in the headlights look, because then you're going to forget what you're going to say. And I'll tell you this by experience. when I was in corporate America and speaking for, one of the first times, I was speaking to a group of software people, right? This was back in the 80s, and I worked in a CPA firm by the name of Deloitte, and there's a small business department. And I was implementing financial accounting systems on microcomputers. This is when hard disks came out and they were 10 megabytes, and we thought we died and went to heaven. It was revolutionary time. And so I was selling my services, using it to get clients. And of course, I represented a particular piece of accounting software that was my favorite. And so there were several of us speakers, about 5, and we each represented a different software system. And we all, had 15 minutes or 20 to speak. And so I get up there when it's my turn, and I'm, confident. I'm not scared. And I stand up with my handwritten notes, because we didn't have computers and desktops. Our secretaries had typewriters. I don't know if anybody can relate. I feel like I sound like my mother now, when my mother used to say, I walked a mile, to go to school, or, all kinds of crazy stuff. Anyway, but it was true. It was true. And so I get up there with my notes, and they're stapled together, and I start talking. And again, I knew my material somewhat, and I start talking. And then all of a sudden I lost my place. I lost my train of thought. Deer in the headlight look in my audience, that look of sheer fear. I go through my notes. I scroll through my notes, page by page by page, turning the page, trying to find my place. I could not find it. So I quickly ended by, thank you very much, and then scooted off stage. And it was horrible. I was embarrassed. I didn't get any clients. Nobody came and talked to me at the end of my talk. And I'm sure the other speakers did get clients, because I would see a crowd of people around them. So don't use notes. Don't write out your speech. Instead, outline what you're going to talk about. And what I do today, of course, this is fast forward many years later. And what I teach my clients is an outline. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like I'm doing today, or use an acronym. Now, I love acronyms, so I use them all the time. And if you've listened to some of these other podcasts, you'll know that I use acronyms a lot. But it's a really great way for you to outline your speech and remember what you're going to say. So when I do my leads talk, I spell out the word leads. I know L is for leverage, E is for expert, A is for audience, D is for database, and S is for system, or sometimes I change it and say it's for stories. So whatever it is, you can remember. I didn't even have to look at that. I remember what it is. And your audience will remember as well. Your audience will remember as well. So there you have it. Outline your speech. Number 4, start with an attention grabber. That's right. Start with an attention grabber. Now, you want to step on stage, whether it's virtual or whether it's live, as powerfully as you can. And that means just to hit the ground running by giving them a big attention grabber. It could be questions. It could be a good morning, everyone. It could be a statistical statement, or perhaps a statement of truth, your own truth. For example, you have 5 seconds to grab your audience's attention. So come out there strong, come out there powerful, start with a bang, and just give them all of your energy right up front in your first sentence or 2. That's a strong attention grabber. Number 5, build trust and rapport. Again, if you want to be an effective business owner, you've got to build trust and rapport. You've got to have time to build trust and rapport. So you want to make sure that you're not rushed, that you're not a fire hose turning it on and blowing your audience out of the water. Build trust and rapport. How do you do that? You can do it by sharing your professional story. How did you get started doing what you're doing? What makes you the professional? If you have rags to riches stories, people love rags to riches because that means that they can do it too. That means that you've given them hope that maybe they failed, but that they can get right back up on that horse and ride again. So, mess to success. Make sure you always share your professional story. That's not your personal story. We don't care what happened when you were 5. We care about what's happening now and why should I do business with you. So make sure you share your professional story. And that's not a long story. It's 2-3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, depending on how long you have to speak. So it's a real short, heartfelt, vulnerable type of story that you are going to share with your audience. Number 6, learn the art of persuasion and influence. Learn the art of persuasion and influence. All right, let me give it to you in a nutshell. Find out what your audience wants and give it to them. That's the art of persuasion. So many people try to sell people on what they want and not what the audience wants. And I hear this all the time, even when I'm doing business with people, and I think I might be interested in their product and they're selling me something else. So I might be interested in vitamins and they're selling me on weight loss, or I might be interested in discount services for online store purchases and they're trying to sell me discount services for restaurants. Do not do that. I don't care if your product or service goes beyond what you're talking about now. Sell them what they want first, and then you can talk about all the other wonderful products and services you offer. So the art of persuasion and influence is to find out what your audience wants and give them that and just that. Number 7, deliver great content. Deliver great content. And when I say great, I'm talking about the latest of the latest. I'm not talking about stuff that you've always been sharing, that kind of signature talk that you give over and over again. That's fine, but make sure you're freshening up the content and serving up the latest and greatest content. And you want to make sure that you're delivering a lot of content without overwhelming them. So again, over deliver without overwhelming. So that's what you want to make sure you do. Don't turn on that fire hose. Make sure that you're going deep with each piece of content. So you might be saying, well, how much content? Well, let me give you some guidelines. In a 30-minute talk, you can give anywhere from 3 to 5 points. That's it. 3 to 5 pieces of what I call meat, 3 to 5 nuggets, whatever you want to call it, teaching points, and that's it. Don't try to give a gazillion because you don't have time to go deep. People rather have a lot of something than little or nothing of a lot. So make sure that you are actually delivering great content, the latest content, as well as the right amount of content. Number 8. Again, we are talking about 10 tips to be an effective speaker for business owners, entrepreneurs, and then again, how you can be that $1 million speaker. So number 8 is add stories. Any great speaker adds stories. They know the importance of storytelling. And so you should too. I call it story selling. Let the story do the selling for you. Don't try to sell it yourself. Let success stories sell for you. Let humorous stories do the selling for you. Whatever. Stories with a lesson. There are 4 stories that you need to have in every full-blown speech. That's your professional story. That's stories with a lesson, success stories, and emotional stories. Stories that elicit some sort of emotion. Now, I like to use funny stories because funny to me equals money. So make sure you become a great storyteller. Number nine is very, very important. And that is the invitation. That's the invitation to do business with you, the invitation to get more of your products and services, the invitation to actually get transformation that leads to the permanent change that they want. A way to get the solution to their problem, a way to get the solution to end their suffering. Whatever it is that you are teaching, talking about, and changing the world with, you want them, your audience, to have a way to get more. I see so many business speakers say, thank you very much. Or their invitation is, go to my website, www.websitestinks.com. Nobody's going to go to your website. All right. They're not, unless they're compelled to go to your website to get something for free or to get more of you. But most of the time, they will not on their own go there. So don't make that your sole invitation. Instead, invite them to come and talk to you. If it's a live event, if it's an online event, encourage them to sign up for a free gift. Give your link to a free strategy session or discovery session, whatever you have there, consultation, and let them sign up for something, take some action that way. And then they're in your database where you can follow up and or market to them slowly and get them into a product or service that way. Number 10, and that is practice. I can't say this enough. And if you've listened to some of my other podcasts, you will know practice, and then practice some more. You need to practice 1 hour for every 2 minutes of your presentation. So if you have a 30-minute presentation, that means 15 hours, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you get good. That's how you become that $1 million speaker that you want to become. That's how you get so confident that other people want you to speak on their stage. And of course, your clients and customers want to do business with you because they see how confident you are, not only at speaking, but at delivering your products and services. So make sure that you are practicing 1 hour for every 2 minutes of presentation. Very easy to calculate, right? You just cut that presentation in half, and that way you know exactly how long you need to practice. So there you have it, the 10 ways, 10 tips, 10 steps for effective business speaking for entrepreneurs, business owners, coaches, and consultants. And again, tips on how you can become a $1 million speaker. Well, that's it for now. We'll see you back here next week. Bye for now.